everyone. As you know, my name is Shalina Jones, and I am your Chatham County District Attorney. I'm here today to discuss a matter that has captured the hearts and minds of many people across our community, across the state of Georgia, and across this nation, and that is the sad and untimely death of 2-year-old baby boy Quinton Simon. Over these past few weeks, there have been photos and images that you might have seen of men and women hard at work, combing through heaps of trash, looking for just the smallest sign of what happened to baby Q, as he was affectionately known. When any person, particularly a child of tender years, is murdered, harmed, victimized, or goes missing in our community, it's a matter that calls our very humanity into question. These are the cases that keep us up at night. These are the cases that deserve justice.
What's the difference between a service animal and an emotional support pet? Well, a service animal.
Before I begin, I would like to thank the fine members of law enforcement, particularly our Chatham County Police Department Police Chief, Chief Jeff Hadley. Thank you. If you'll join me here, I appreciate it. And to the rest of his team, particularly the lead investigator on this case, Detective Lemons. Chief, I want to thank you for the hard work and dedication that you devoted to this case from the very beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
Your department was boots on the ground, and you made this the highest priority for our county. You represented our county well, and we greatly appreciate it. To the men and women of the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the GBI, the Department of Natural Resources, and every other, the FBI, of course, and every other law enforcement agency that devoted time, effort, and resources to searching for baby Quinton, we say thank you. These men and women worked very long hours, turning shifts for 6 weeks straight, working tirelessly and would not quit until Quinton's body was found. Were it not for their tireless efforts, we would not have been able to take the first step on the long road to justice as we have today. I'm standing here before you because earlier this morning, the sworn and impaneled members of our Chatham County grand jury returned a 19-count indictment against the mother of Quinton Simon, that is defendant Leilani Simon. Defendant Simon is charged in the indictment with 1 count of malice murder for the intentional killing or death of her son, Quinton Simon. She is also charged in counts 2 and 3 with felony murder in the death of her son. She is charged also with 1 count of concealment of the death of another in this indictment. And that is followed by several counts of giving false statements during the course of a police investigation. As your district attorney, I realize that this matter is really important to our community and also to the inquiring minds both here and beyond our community that want to know what happened to baby Quinton and how it happened. That curiosity is not lost on me. However, there's more evidence that may be revealed during the course of this investigation. And I say that to remind you all that this is an ongoing criminal investigation. As prosecutors, we are duty bound to preserve the judicial process by not making out-of-court statements about the case and by not releasing evidence in the case. I want you to know that this is not about hiding anything, and our goal is always to be transparent with the members of the public. However, it is very important that we preserve the sanctity of the judicial process. It is very important that we do that so that the evidence in this case, if this case should go to trial, can be heard by jurors who are selected from this community, the jurors, the citizens, and the people who are most impacted by the untimely death of Quinton Simon. But not revealing this evidence also ensures that the criminal proceeding remain fair, just, untainted, and that this case is not tried in the court of public opinion, but is resolved in a court of law. What that means is that while this case is of grave importance to our office, and we will devote every resource to making sure that this case is properly handled from beginning to end, it also means that we will not be responding to any open records requests or media questions about the facts and underlying circumstances and the evidence of the case. We all know that justice takes time, but it should be swift and sure and fair. We appreciate the time and your time and patience with us in this matter as we continue to pursue justice for baby Quinton Simon and for the citizens of Chatham County. Thank you very much.
Are you taking questions?
Depends on what questions you have.
Maybe a chance we can get a copy of the indictment.
The indictment has not been sealed as of yet. That means that as of now, it is still a matter of public record. You can obtain a copy of that indictment from the Office of the Superior Court Clerk.
I know there's only so much you can release, but from the evidence that you've had a chance to look at, is there anything you can tell us that really stuck out to you? What was the most shocking to you just from a human point of view?
Well, I would generally say, not about this case, but in general, whenever we have a death of a child of tender years, in this case, as I said, Quinton Simon was 2 years old, that's something that is just going to stick in your mind. As a prosecutor, that's something that keeps me up at night. And that is what's going to keep me and the rest of this office pursuing justice in this case.
But Lenny Simon still has a petition to take her bond hearing to Superior Court. Is that something that surprises you, or is she where she needs to be?
Well, I think that would be a better question that's reserved for her defense counsel. I am not surprised by any moves that the defendants do and don't make. My job is to make sure that we stand ready to respond to whatever move they make. And so should she request a bond hearing, my office will be ready.
Can you share with us why Billy Joe was jailed?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you share with us why Billy Joe was jailed?
That's a separate legal matter that's still under investigation. I'm not at liberty to discuss that matter at this time.
And you may not be able to answer this question either, but what resulted in the contempt charges for Ms. Billy Joe Betterton?
What's the question?
What resulted in the contempt charges?
Are you asking what caused the contempt?
Yeah.
Again, that's a separate legal matter. I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this time.
In your course of prosecution here, you have 3 murder charges for 1 victim. Can you talk about it? Just explain to the general public why that happens, the difference in malice murder and the 2 counts of felony murder?
Prosecutors often develop different theories of a case and how a murder may or may not have occurred. It is not uncommon for us in murder cases, and you'll see this in our other indictments, to charge murder in a number of different ways. And as I said, as the evidence continues to evolve in this case, and we get closer to trial, should we get there, we'll have more information about if any additional murder charges need to be filed or if they need to be changed in any way.
You say you're still gathering evidence. Talk about the confidence you have in the evidence right now.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be standing here before you if I wasn't confident about the evidence that we have. We have more than sufficient evidence to bring the charges, and that's why we presented this case to grand jury. They actually believed us. They returned a true bill on the indictment. We're confident about that. But what makes me even more confident is that I get to rely on the hard work and evidence and investigation of Chief Hadley, his team, our law enforcement agencies. They collected copious amounts of evidence, and because of their fine investigative work, I feel very confident that we are about the position that we're in today.
You spoke to the hard work of Chief Hadley and law enforcement in this case. And I know Chief Hadley told us multiple times that he didn't want to stand before us months later talking about flaws in the investigation and how that's impacted the case. Can you just speak to how the efforts of law enforcement have helped make this case, have helped make you confident in the evidence of this case so far?
Well, I would say that the evidence that was produced by law enforcement, the good thing is that we had a number of different law enforcement agencies coming together and pooling their information and resources. I am very proud of the work of the lead detective on this case, who was absolutely solid from beginning to end. And, that's something that you pick up when you're a prosecutor and examining evidence and case files and working with detectives. Also, we have one of our top-notch prosecutors. All of our prosecutors in this office are top-notch, but we have one of our top-notch prosecutors who specializes in these kinds of cases and crimes against children, who reviewed the case day and night. So, those kinds of things build our confidence in moving forward with the charge.
Do we have any information or update information about the boyfriend who was home at the time?
We have information about that, but again, that's not anything that I'm going to reveal right now, as I can't talk about the underlying facts and circumstances. I'm sorry, I wish I could. I know you want to know, but out of respect for the judicial process, I kind of have to keep my word on that. And also, I'd like to keep my bar license. So I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you for coming out this afternoon. We will continue to keep you posted as necessary. Thank you, and thank you to the citizens of Chatham County.